Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope all of you are doing well. Welcome back to a brand new video. So I wanted to give you guys my initial thoughts on the Boogie2988 documentary. Oh boy, what can I say about this? What are my thoughts on this is the biggest question. Um man, this documentary was cringe, and you can't help but feel bad, but at the same time you don't feel bad. That's kind of what I felt after watching this. So let's talk about YouTube itself. A lot of us got inspired to do YouTube videos by other YouTubers. If you go back to like 2007, 2008, a lot of YouTubers that, came in became these big YouTubers that they are now. Guys like Cool Dude and Wet Movie One when it comes to the movie community. Then you have guys like Kid Behind, what is it? The Camera. He did the Angry Grandpa videos, and guys like McJuggernuggets, who was making these videos of his psycho dad and the stuff that his dad was doing to him. And those videos inspired others to not only join the platform but to create their own videos. And do not get me wrong, a lot of these YouTubers have had their ups and they've had their downs. They've been in situations they never thought they would be in. But at the same time, there are fans out there who were inspired by these individuals. Even Roman Atwood, a guy who I've watched for a long time doing his vlogs. He comes and goes here and there from time to time with uploads, but he's another one that people would watch since the beginning of YouTube. And YouTube itself has changed as a platform. Like I said, there are big names in different categories that have been around day one and have made themselves become basically millionaires at this point and have done amazing projects. And they have inspired, but as I stated, YouTube does have its flaws. Playing ads on videos that people aren't on channels that people aren't even monetized on, or having guidelines that you have to have the option of, is this video for kids or if it's not for kids. And then they tell you your limit on certain things you can say or do, which I still think that should fall under the category if your video is made for adults or if it's made for children. So if somebody curses in their video and YouTube starts to strike them, I don't think that's right, because that video is specifically not for children. They stated it wasn't for children. Now, don't get me wrong. You don't have to say every single curse word in the book in every five, back to back, so on and so forth. But, if you drop it here and there in the video, there shouldn't be any reason to strike them. I think another issue that I think YouTube has to work on is the guidelines when it comes to copyright material. If we're reviewing a video, if we're reviewing a like a clip of a movie, or we're playing something, copyright means we made a copy of it, we have it uploaded, and we're making money off of it. If you're using it for reviewing purposes and you get striked, then apparently the guidelines of second, what do they call it? It's like it's some type of act which allows secondhand people to use copyright material for specific things. So like if I was playing a clip in a movie and I'm reviewing that movie or that clip, then I'm not making a copy. I am reviewing something. I'm not making any money, because your videos have the option of being monetized or not being monetized. So there are those issues, and that's for another topic. But YouTube's not going to be perfect. I've seen YouTubers come, I've seen YouTubers go. A lot of YouTubers who are part of like the movie community are truly missed. I don't know what their lives have been like since they left YouTube. It would be great to have them at least do one video giving us an update. The great example is Wes from Mr. Movie Night, I believe is his name, I think the last time I remember him doing a video had to be before like 2010. I remember in like 2008, 2009, maybe 2010. I'm give or take, but I know in 08 and 09, I watched his videos all the time. I really enjoyed his channel. And then you have Kakalaki Movies, Crazy Jason. Great channel with the guys. Crazy Jason would go on to do his own channel, and he's disappeared as well. Who else? I mean, there's just so many other YouTubers. You know, life gets the best part of us, and that's all right. You know, YouTube is more of a hobby to others and a career to others. So it kind of has that nice blend of things. So yeah, some people leave because they don't really care for it too much. And others just do it as a hobby, and they feel like that hobby is not, there's no excitement out of it. They move on. But I wanted to name drop a few because those were video channels of people I absolutely enjoyed their content. And I enjoy everybody's content. And I do believe their channels are still active, so you can watch a lot of their older videos. So that's always great too. Swap Meat Searcher was another one. I remember him having his own channel and collaborating with What Movie One. He disappeared. Life kind of, happened, and he's come and go, and now I don't think he's done anything since. So, because I know he came back for a little while, and then that was it. So yeah, we get a lot of YouTubers who come and go. But with a lot of the bigger YouTubers like McJuggernuggets and Kid Behind the Camera and Boogie2988, there's going to be a lot of negative feedback when it comes to their videos, and especially with Boogie29 or 2988. Sometimes I get confused with the numbers. So I've always been familiar with him because I remember watching the Francis skits that he would do, and that was kind of really it. Back sometimes I go and check out his other videos here and there, but it seems like more recently, and probably the past decade or so, things have not been going well for him, and it's very clear in this documentary about his revenue when it comes to YouTube, his spending, his financial situation, his health. There are so many different things, and when you watch this documentary, it is cringe. I will say that. At times you do feel bad, but at the same time you can't feel bad because he doesn't want to get better. It seems like he knows he wants to get better, but he's not doing anything. And I noticed after watching other YouTube videos of people who, have maybe interacted with him personally or watched this video, and, you can tell he needs help, from a professional when it comes to the mental state. When he talks about his bills in this documentary, you're just like, first and foremost, I have a hard time believing his house is $500,000. That house does not look like a $500,000. And why would a $500,000 house be around other houses in a neighborhood? Most of the time when I see $500,000 houses, they're usually on acres and acres of land. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just my personal experience, as most of the time a house that's going for $250,000, or $500,000, whatever, usually are on acres and acres of land. So it was kind of weird, and it wouldn't look like a house I would personally buy. I mean, if I'm going to pay that amount of money, my house needs to be a lot nicer, not something that looks like a normal house in a neighborhood. So that was kind of weird. He does have a lot of spending issues. You can tell. If I think in one scene when he's kind of talking to the person in charge of the documentary, you see all these one-up arcade machines. And it's like, just sell them if you're not using them. I love the one-up arcade machines, and I do use them, but my biggest issue is one, they don't have a resale value. And two, they've been the 300 price mark since the day they came out, and I don't even think they make them anymore. I have not heard or seen any new one-up arcade machine recently in probably the past 5 to 6 years. And I feel like now they really need to just drop the prices and make them more affordable, because I'm sure they're not selling like they used to when they were first coming out. Um, so you can see he has a lot of these cool stuffs. A lot of this. Let me rephrase that. He has a lot of cool stuff that you see that to be quite honest, if he's struggling, get rid of it. Once you get to a part in your life where you're financially stable, then you can start to buy things back. A lot of the issues in the documentary that were told was that he contradicts himself too many times and he's caught lying. Um, and it's just like, and the fact that he does videos to guilt trip people, to make them feel bad about him. And that's where I think he really needs the professional help. And I think it also got to that point, once you get, there are going to be YouTubers who money changes them, who become big time YouTubers. I've heard stories of people who have interacted with a lot of big YouTubers and they're completely a-holes. And a lot of that is due to the fact that they are big names on YouTube. And I don't, that's, it is what it is, I guess is the best way to put it. So, when you watch the documentary and you see that, he's talking about his financials and stuff, it's just crazy and blows my mind that he has all this, the stuff he has to pay. But at the same time, it's like, if you have 4 million subscribers, you're going to tell me you're broke? If I had 4 million subscribers and I was making good money, I wouldn't be broke. The first thing I'd be focusing on is paying any financial bill I have to have that financial freedom. And to be honest with you, that's probably what he should have been doing. He should have been paying off all the financial things he needed to take care of so he could have that financial freedom to buy the things. I mean, if you watch this documentary, there was one scene where he's talking about, the new Final Fantasy game came out, I had to get that. And it was like Diablo 4, I had to get that. It's like, you don't have to get those. Focus on what you need to pay and then get those. So, yeah, it was just like, you watch the videos, you can tell, and watching other YouTubers have pointed this out, that he, gets caught lying. He contradicts himself a lot. He's done things that, people would consider, why is he still on YouTube? I mean, he's had some really bad legal issues with a neighbor, I believe it was, which has, this has been leaked out for a few years. But it's just sad to see somebody where I feel like YouTube did change him. I feel like he wouldn't have been in this situation if it wasn't for YouTube. But at the same time, he really needed to get the professional help. I feel like what he needs to do to move forward and for things to start slowly getting better is, 1, get the professional help. 2, get yourself a nutritionist, a personal trainer. If you really truly want to lose the weight and not have the health issues, then that is something you need to do. For me, I had to call it quits. I had to really do some soul searching on my weight, because I was literally, at one point, I was three pounds shy of hitting 300, and now here I am, around 259. I lost almost 40 pounds because, 1, I knew what I wanted long term when it came to weight loss, and 2, I knew the effects of being overweight, and I was already having issues then. So I really just went cold turkey, quit soda. I'm going on, at the end of this month, I will literally be on 9 months of no soda. So, a lot of times you can do it. You can, mind over matter. And a lot of times you can't, and sometimes it doesn't hurt to ask for help. So I feel like that was something he could do. He can also get somebody who can be like his financial advisory or something like that, where, when he gets paid, that money goes to that person who's reliable. It should be more of somebody who's like has a degree and works for a big time firm, rather than somebody he may know that has a degree, and have them, take that money, pay everything he needs to financially, and then have the money left over for personal use, and then have the money left over for spending. So, if he was to make, say he got a check for 40 grand, well, you could take 10 grand of that towards bills, 10 grand of that towards, savings, or $5 grand towards savings, and you can split it in so many ways that, yeah, you can buy the new upcoming games that are coming out for yourself. Yes, you can, pay, your bills and things like that, and you have money saved and things like that. And I think, though, after watching that documentary, those are some things I would personally be doing if I was in that same situation. Thankfully, I'm not. But it just, you feel bad for the guy, but you also don't feel bad. You feel bad because this guy definitely needs help from a professional. But at the same time, you don't feel bad because he is aware of what he's doing and doesn't want to do anything. And as they say, you can't help somebody if they don't want to help themselves. And then he met this young woman who's 20 years old. Mind you, Boogie is 49. And that's just cringe. I get if you have a connection with somebody and all that, but the fact that she met a guy who is not financially stable, who has a lot of health issues, I don't feel like that's fair to her. If he was, doing a lot better, he was fit, he was doing right, then maybe the relationship would work out. But at the same time, I mean, there's going to be drama no matter where you go. But, that would have been a little bit easier. But with the situation she's in, I felt bad for her. And the fact that she's not even legal to drink is just, it just makes it more cringy because this girl is 20 years old. She looks like a teenager. She's still young. She still has her life ahead of her. And it's just like, you're watching this and you're like, oh, this is cringe. And I didn't realize Boogie was that much older. I thought maybe he was in his 30s, like mid to late 30s. Her being in her 20, being 20, I was like, okay, that's not too bad. Not realizing, no, this man in 1 year is going to be pushing 50. So I was like, holy crap. So yeah, like, my thoughts on this, it was a good documentary. It was nice to see to truly get to know somebody behind the scenes of YouTube, which sometimes you don't see. A great example of this would be the McJuggernuggets documentary, which I thought was fantastic. I like that he was so passionate about making YouTube a career. He did it, and then he turned around and helped his family. He got his uncle and cousin involved in YouTube. He's done videos where he retired his mom, his aunt, and his uncle, which I thought was amazing. He's helped his dad out a lot, his brother. And a lot of times when you watch his videos where he's just doing the vlog, I think a lot of the stuff that he does between him and his brother and his family, you can still tell there's acting. Especially when they're giving each other, shit. You can still see that there's a little bit acting, that, that they're doing it just for, some entertainment purposes. But yeah, I would check out the documentary for sure and try to give you guys initial thoughts. But man, this documentary was just interesting, cringy. I can't sweat it enough. You feel bad, but you don't feel bad, and it's just crazy that this is just all started due to YouTube. At least from the kind of impression that I got. I don't know exactly what life was before YouTube, but I feel like the right thing would have done is to hire people that can help you, financially, with the weight loss, things like that. I think if you really want to help, the first thing is to cut back, take a break. Excuse me, from YouTube. Take a week break. Make an apology video for all the crap you've done, from contradicting to sounding like a complete tool to just everything he's done bad. He just needs to make one big apology video and really needs to turn his life around. And I think if he does it right, he can turn his life around. I think he can become successful on YouTube, review products, and just, I think things for him can get better, where he could be happy, have a better life, and a better lifestyle if he truly wants it. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of give my initial thoughts on this, this documentary. It's a little over 55 minutes, and it's free on YouTube, so definitely check it out if you haven't. But yeah, it's crazy that somebody from the YouTube family and community, is dealing with that, and you can blame part of an obsession to YouTube. You can blame, just things in his life, maybe things from, when he was a child, may not had the best life, and he's dealing with the trauma. So the situation he's in is kind of how he could, like a coping mechanism. And I should know because I have had my issues and I've had coping mechanisms and things like that. So from a standpoint, I can understand and feel bad, but from another standpoint, it's just like, it's even crazy. But yeah, I just wanted to give my initial thoughts on the documentary. If you guys have seen it, let me know what your thoughts are. And with that being said, I'm Film Talk with Mikey. Thank you guys for tuning in. Definitely give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Until next time, we'll talk films. Peace.